And when they speak Japanese, switch it up to Japanese. Oh, you're like, whoa, you speak Japanese? I was like, yeah, I do. Like, yeah. Like, Hello, my name is Peace, and I am half American, half Japanese, and I am born and raised in Japan.
What's going on, guys? My name is Shota Sprunger, and I'm half Japanese, half American, born in Japan, but I lived over half my life in the States.
Shota-san.
You wanna go ahead?
Yeah. Alrighty. Okay. Where were you born and where are your parents from? Very generic.
I was born in Yokohama, and my mom is from Japan. She's from the Yokohama area, and my dad is from Indiana, USA. What about you?
I'm born and raised in Hiroshima.
Yeah.
Until college. In college, I came here. But born and raised in Hiroshima. My mom is pure Hiroshima person, and my dad is from Massachusetts.
He's from Massachusetts?
He's from Massachusetts. So when he was sent to Japan for military, that's where they met, and he just stayed in Japan.
That's exactly how my parents met too.
such a lovely romantic.
So that's why you're always wearing Red Sox, like Boston stuff?
Yeah. That's why I'm
like, alright,
bro, Patriots, bro.
Yes,
Patriots,
sir.
yeah. And of course, I'm a big fan of Hiroshima Carp and Southbridge.
Yeah.
So that's why I love red color. You know,
Yeah.
How about you? Like, do you have like any like Yokohama like favorite team or like?
I love my grandpa. So on my mom's side, my grandpa is Japanese.
Yeah.
So he likes Giants. So that was always my favorite. But then my favorite player was Ramirez, and he went over to Yokohama.
DNA.
Yeah, DNA. So I also became a DNA fan.
Yeah.
Okay, and it worked out because I was born in Yokohama and they're a Yokohama team. So that was really cool.
Okay. Yeah, but I always have my Hiroshima pride, bro.
Yeah, I feel that. Yeah.
Hey.
Do you feel offensive when people call you hafu?
Not really. Like, to be honest, I don't care at all.
Yeah.
Like, if someone call me Japanese, I'll be like, yeah, I'm half Japanese.
Yeah,
if someone call me American, I'm like, yeah, I'm half American.
Yeah.
If someone call me hafu, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm half.
And I feel that because I don't care at all.
Yeah,
to be
right.
honest. Like actually, I love being half.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't find it offensive at all, and like I don't know, like I can understand why people might take it, might get
some people
offended.
Yeah.
Everyone has their own, beliefs and stuff. But for me, it was just like I always loved being half Japanese and half American.
I feel
because I can experience cultures from both sides, and I always thought that was like really cool, and that's not something everyone's fortunate enough to be able to experience. So being able to like experience that growing up, I think was like a really cool.
How's like being hafu in like stateside?
Stateside,
is it like
when I was younger, I was more like sensitive, I guess.
Okay, so
even the smaller things would bother me. So there was times where it's tough, but growing up, I started learning like, I just don't have to like worry about it, just ignore it, and just like surround myself with people, who just love me for being me. So it's like I started just ignoring it, and now it doesn't bother me at all. Like, I mean, I love being half. I never hated it. So like, if people do hate being half, I want to like talk to them, see if like there's something we can talk about, like understand why they don't like it, and maybe I can like talk to them about like how I was able to like adjust to it and stuff like that, like adjust into like different cultures and stuff with being half.
Understand. Okay, my turn this name. All right. Ooh. Okay, what language did you use to talk to your parents in your childhood?
So there's like my parents used to tell me like growing up, I think Japanese was stronger for me because my dad would tell me that there would be times where I'll like go up to my dad and just talk all in Japanese to him, and like I thought he understood because I didn't know like what was English, what was Japanese. I just spoke both. So my dad would just like sit there like all confused, because he didn't understand what I just said to him. So I started figuring out like what was English and what was like I started figuring out what he understood and what he didn't understand, and that was like the difference of Japanese and English. So my mom always spoke Japanese, and my dad, I started figuring out what was English and what he understood.
Okay.
So that was like a little hard growing up. But then like my brother, it was funny because wherever we lived, that was the language we spoke.
Switch it up, right?
Yeah. So if we lived in Japan, we started getting in the habit of speaking Japanese to each other. But when we moved to the States, we started getting used to speaking English to each other.
That's so weird.
That was weird.
Yeah, that's
weird.
Weird.
It was like a weird transition all the time too.
Who started? Like you started to speak English to him and he just like adjusted, or like just like naturally?
I think it was just naturally. Like, and then whatever country we would be into, it was like how I would think too.
Okay, yeah.
Like inside my head. But yeah, that was pretty interesting growing up. What about you?
So it's kind of sad story, but my parents divorced when I was around 14, 15.
Yeah.
And I lived with my dad, right, in my house. So that forces dad to use English to me, and that forces me to use English to him too. That's why my English got so better compared to like my previous year, because in my house when my whole parents was living there, I was speaking Japanese to both of my parents because that's just convenient and easy, right? But like soon as mom left, like it was just me and my dad speaking English, and he was teaching me and I was teaching him Japanese, and it was a very good environment. I would say Japan for Japanese first, then English last. So, yeah.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. Next one?
Yeah, sure.
Ooh. How do people react when they find out that you can speak Japanese?
Okay, this is funny. Okay, so I used to work at 7-Eleven, right? I used to work at 7-Eleven for 4 years, the best job ever. Okay, best job ever. So, like when I was working at 7-Eleven, people come up to me, of course, right? Because I'm doing the register. And people will be like, "Oh, can I have like a chopstick or something?" And I'm like, "How many, sir?"
Like super fluently.
Yeah, and I don't say hon, not hon, and nanzen,
nanzen,
like actual
like
hashi,
proper
right?
way.
And they'd be like, "You speak Japanese?" Like, yeah. Like, can't you see the Kai name? My middle name is Japanese. I'm like, oh, you have to. It's like that happened multiple times. Like when I'm like ask some Japanese people for like some favor and stuff, they get surprised sometimes. And not here in Tokyo a lot, but back in Hiroshima, that happens a lot. Probably like maybe once per 2 days. Like it happens a lot.
I feel that. Yeah, it's funny. Like whenever I like go to restaurants and stuff, that's when it always happens. Like because like I hang out with people who speak English all the time. So whenever we walk into a restaurant or any store, we're just speaking English, And whenever the waiter or waitress comes up to like take our order, like Japanese comes out, right? And then I don't think they were expecting it. So it was like always funny like seeing their reactions. Because they'll come up and like try to ask me if I'm ready to order in English, but then I'll just like answer and I'll just reply in Japanese. Or like whenever I go to like pay for something, like I'm speaking English to my friend, and then they're like, do you want a plastic bag or something? I was like, oh, like daijoubu in Japanese. So it's like, oh, like he speaks Japanese, and then they switch into like speaking Japanese to me, That's what I used to do when I'm trying to impress girls and stuff. I'll talk to my American friends in English, and when they speak Japanese, switch it up to Japanese. Oh, you're like, whoa, you speak Japanese? I was like, yeah, I do. Like, like. That's like a cool way to.
So
like,
so are you doing something tomorrow? Like,
it's a funny way to like try to.
Easiest way for Haku to get girls.
Yeah, that is very true. I've used that multiple times too.
We all use it.
Yeah, like you speak in English, like.
Switch it up. 大丈夫大丈夫 Like, oh, you speak Japanese?
Yeah. Like you're making the order like, 以上です It's like just ending it at that.
Just switch it up. Like you're asking the menu, これとこれお願いします and your American friends are like, oh yeah, bro, like yo, this stuff is like real. それとあともう一つ like, what you want? Oh yeah, cool. Just switch it back.
Like being like switch back and forth like super cool.
Bro, dude, I love being happy for that.
It's fun.
It's fun.
That was a good question.
Next question. When we were little, we got bullied, and that's the only disadvantage, I think.
And like if someone treats me bad, instead of just being like upset about it, I try to like understand where they're coming from. So like that's like a huge advantage growing up. We learned Spanish in high school, but we can't really count that.
I took a Spanish class in my class, and I failed, but
I failed mine too. Okay, I didn't take my Spanish exam.
Okay.
I was moving between the end of the year.
Okay.
Hey everyone, my name is Kaz. Thank you so much for watching this episode. Let us know what your thoughts in the comment down below. And if you liked it, please give us a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. See you next time. Bye.